Good afternoon, guys. It is June 2nd, and I'm in the San Rafael Swell here to film a couple of videos, mostly with the purpose of trying to find some rare cacti here, namely Cactus, the Spiny Cactus, Rhinotropis, and Opuntia basilaris variety Hilaria, but also just to talk about some of the other plants you can find here. And I'm already seeing so many great things. I mean, firstly, there's Visca, which I've never seen before. This is, I believe, Rhinotropis subspinosa, which is a member of the family Polygalaceae, which I'm very unfamiliar with. When I first saw this, I thought it was a member of Phacelia, and it certainly has some very fabaceous-looking flowers. Now, Polygalaceae is quite closely related to Phacelia, and again, the flowers do look similar. I think it's definitely a shared ancestral trait to have flowers sort of like this. They kind of are like pea flowers that lack the banner but still have the two wings and a keel. Really nice stuff. It's just a species you can find, I guess, in the Colorado Plateau. That's a flora I'm not so familiar with, but I'm really excited to learn more about while I'm here. And we also have this one, which I did see earlier in the year. I just didn't realize you could find it in Utah as well, at least not outside of extreme southwest Utah. This is Phacelia crenulata, which is one of the common Phacelias you find during Death Valley super blooms. Now, I thought it was just a Mojave Desert endemic, and I would have honestly guessed that Phacelia crenulata was a more widespread one. Sorry, I mean Phacelia calcifolia was the more widespread of the two species of Phacelia I saw there, but no, this one's the much more widespread one. Calcifolia is apparently only really found in an area centered around Death Valley National Park. It's not too small, but it's not very big either. There's a whole bunch of other good things here. Oh my goodness. It's Calolophus, or clearly it's Oenogracious, whatever this is. Is it a species of Calolophus, though, or Oenothera? Oh no, the cedar gnats are coming. Oh gosh, this is going to be so bad. I should have brought bug spray. I'd be scratching my arms to pieces soon. Yeah, I got to try and figure out what that is. Of course, this is a very open woodland. Maybe that's really stretching a bit, but an open area of Pinyon Juniper. Definitely running heavy on the Juniper, which is Juniperus osteosperma, of course, the Utah Juniper. Not everyone likes this plant so much, but I think it's kind of cool. I appreciate it for the fact that it can survive in these harsh environments. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have the best time, even if I don't find any of these cacti. Cactus Spiny is the one I'm gonna be looking for right here. And it's known for being quite small and recessing into the soil, usually not being much more than like an inch or getting much larger than like a golf ball. So I do have my work cut out for me, but if I keep my eyes open, I might see some things. You know, if I have coordinates, I could probably find it pretty easily, but I really had to use some public, whatever information is public, which is say not a whole lot. Well, I really hope the wind kind of picks up so I can get these cedar gnats off my arms. I'm seeing a lot of this grass too, not the best specimen, but this is Hilaria jamesii, also known as James Galleta. Really good grass out here. Galleta, of course, is Spanish for cookie, which I may have sort of guessed that this is, you know, like almost like a cookie for cows. That's why it was named. Well, I'm sure lots of grasses are nice and edible for them, but that's what it is, and it's definitely the dominant grass out here. There's a better clump of it. And there's a whole lot of other things I'm going to hopefully talk about while I'm out here, so I'll just get started. Definitely got my work cut out for me today. This is not going to be easy. Though, if I do see something green and golf ball shaped in size on the swell, I think it might blend in a little bit, but I think I'd be able to see it reasonably well enough. There's several different populations of Cactus Spiny, which I'll be checking out. If I find the first one, find them right in my first try here, then I'll slowly move on to the other ones. But I really got no clue what I'm actually going to see out here. Now, the roll of cacti we got here, there is a lot of this, which is, this is probably just Opuntia polyacantha, which is a bit of a species complex that has been variously broken up and probably needs more work to fully sort what they are. At this point, several, maybe up to 10 species that are very closely related that were once considered part of either Opuntia polyacantha or Erinacea that are now considered separate, like Opuntia aria, which you find sort of between Kanab and St. George. Big fan of that one. But actually, it kind of looks like Opuntia basilaris in a way because it doesn't have spines, or even really glaucids often. And this is not going to be easy, but I'm really excited. Finally, I started seeing the Pinus edulis with two-needle pinyon. So I'm descending along this wash. See the two most important components of the pinyon juniper forest in the Colorado Plateau. Well, occasionally you might find Pinus monophylla. That's more of a Great Basin one, though, of course, with some exceptions, as I just said. I've still not seen this cactus yet. Seen some other cool things. Yeah, I really am. This is really just a big bunch of shots in the dark I'm going to be making. A tip for you guys who are interested in this, I'm probably going to make a whole series on this, but if you want to practice your best leave no trace practices, a great thing to do is to travel along washes as much as possible, because those are constantly being reworked by the water, so there's little well-established stuff that's going to be disturbed if you walk along a wash. And occasionally there might be like some insect or other animal eggs, but it's definitely preferable to some of our alternatives. Of course, there isn't always something wrong with just walking on regular soil. Oh, look at this, some kind of yucca. Let's take a second to figure it out. Hopefully I can might get it on the way back. Okay, based upon range data, this is most likely Yucca harrimaniae. They can be a little bit tricky to tell apart, especially without flowers, because I mean flowers always make things easier to tell apart, but yeah, the yuccas can be a little bit difficult, especially these small cluster-forming ones. There's a little guy. Okay, I gotta get moving. These cedar gnats are gonna kill me if I stay still for too long. Got a pretty nice field of the Phacelia crenulata here. Not growing too tall as some of the other ones I've seen, but thriving nonetheless. Well, okay, on the drive up here I saw a few places where they were honestly growing like 5 times thicker than this. It was crazy, and tall as well. Oh, and this, of course, I was meaning to talk about this, is Phacelia, and I'm almost positive it's Phacelia coccinea, which is the common species you find along the Wasatch Front as well. I've seen a lot of this as well, and around as it's driving through the San Rafael Swell. But again, I'm going to show you some more specimens in places where it's growing thicker later if I have some time. The search has still been quite fruitless, unfortunately, but I do know this is more or less kind of the right place to find them. One of them at least. And there's probably other groves or patches, whatever you want to call them, where the species is growing that haven't been discovered yet, but I'm probably not going to find it by accident. Might be a little bit over my head right now. Been seeing a lot of ephedras as well out here, of course, and this one I'm almost certain is Ephedra viridis, or the green ephedra. I mean, just look at it. But you don't really look for the color when you're trying to tell these ones apart. I mean, it can help for this species at least, but most of them are much more drab grayish color, like this guy, which I think is probably Ephedra toriana, though I don't know for sure because I'm not very good at them. There's a few species there could be out here in addition to viridis, but you really have to look at how they branch, what their cones look like, how many nodes there are per, or I mean branches there are per node, stuff like that to figure them out. They're moderately hard to tell apart from each other, mostly because it's just kind of annoying to remember everything. Down the road a couple miles, gonna go searching for the cactus again, but I really gotta get going from this site. Want to make everything, but firstly I must talk about this guy, which is of course Stenleia pinnata, or the princess plume. Beautiful, beautiful member of Brassicaceae, probably the most beautiful member of this family in western North America, possibly anywhere in the world. I saw some of it in Death Valley, not yet in bloom, but these guys are, and they'll probably be in bloom all the way until mid to late August. This shoot looks like it's a shoot of indeterminate growth, so it will continue to produce flowers as long as it's got the juice or keeps receiving the juice. And if the stuff it's got here, it's just getting started. It's June 2nd today. I thought these things only bloomed in August when I first saw them, because that's the only time I saw this plant originally. But I mean, that's obviously not true. Well, it's about 8 o'clock now, but I think I can spare another 20 minutes looking for Cactus dyspanii, maybe a couple other plant species. So let's do this. Been seeing this plant a lot too. This is Tetranurus acaulis. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Probably the most common Tetranurus species you might see out here. Well, that's kind of interesting. Looks like a white flowered Phacelia crenulata. And look at that. What is going on there? I know there's some interesting endemic Phacelias and Johnstonellas to the San Rafael Swell, but I don't think I'm in the right area to find those species. I didn't know that could happen. Interesting. I doubt I'm going to find Cactus dyspanii today, but this might actually be Sclerocactus rhytiae. It's either that or Sclerocactus parvifloris, but that one tends to have more than 4 central spines per aerial, while this one seems to have, I don't know, it's hard to tell which is a central spine or not, but it looks like it might be about 4, maybe less central spines per each aerial. That's what you think you really got to look for to tell the two apart. But so I'm really happy about it. This doesn't seem like the kind of habitat you'd normally find this cactus growing on. I thought it was probably more like alkali, clay, salty kind of soils. At least I know it can grow in some of those places. I'm hoping I can visit a few of them tomorrow, depending on my time. I want to try and drive less because I've been driving like non-stop today, unfortunately. But I guess that's kind of a nice note to end this on. Either parvifloris or rhytiae, the one I was looking for. So that might be 1 out of 3 at least. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next video.